Welcome to Infinity Reviews. Oh! Oh no! Oh my god! No way! Oh! It's Sabretooth! Oh, look at these fights!
Alrighty guys, this weekend I had a chance to go check out Mickey 17, the new Robert Pattinson sci-fi movie by Bong Joon Ho. And my initial thoughts, I loved this film. I love sci-fi. I've said numerous times on this channel, I love sci-fi. It's my probably favorite genre in any medium, if that's books, video games, movies, TV, and I just love great sci-fi content. And this is what this was. It also, very much was a human story, the trailers really for this movie really present this as an action movie, but it's not. Most of the action you see are in the trailers. It was really about people. It was really about how we treat others, and there were some certain political views in there as well. But let me tell you the basic gist of this movie. So the basic gist of the movie is Robert Pattinson's character, whose name is Mickey, takes on the role of an expendable, who their role is basically to do all the grunt work in space. They test all the dangerous diseases on him, they make him go do all the dangerous jobs, and, he starts to kind of get a bit sick of it, and, once he's on his 17th try, he thinks he's about to die, but he actually doesn't end up dying, and they accidentally clone him twice, which presents the idea of duplicates, and duplicates in this world, in this mythology, duplicates aren't good. Cloning is basically banned on Earth, so the creation of duplicates is very, very bad. And Mark Ruffalo's character is very much against this, as he's the commander of the ship, and then things just spiral out of control from there. I'll tell you one of the things I love about the movie. The characters. The characters is what really makes this movie. A lot of movies, I feel like today is we're going to distract you with some action while, don't pay attention to the story. That's what kind of Captain America felt like. Captain America, I'm not trying to compare it to this, but Captain America, Brave New World, really felt like, the story or the characters aren't really that interesting. Let's put some cool action pieces in there. In here, the best part of this movie are the interactions between these actors and the characters. If it's Robert Pattinson playing two different Mickey 17s who are vastly different from each other, and it feels like it's two different actors playing those characters, but it just works. That dialogue between them works. If it's Mark Ruffalo and the type of character he is playing in this movie, where it's I hate this character, but it's so funny because he kind of relates a little bit. This character is kind of very much related to our president in a way. So Bong Joon Ho has some very much things he's saying about politics, especially here in America and the people we have in politics. And of course, you have also other stars in here with Naomi Ackie and Yeun, which Naomi Ackie, the only thing I'd really seen her in was Rise of Skywalker, and I wasn't really sure of her as an actor in that. I know she was in Blink Twice, have not seen Blink Twice, but she was great as a love interest in this movie, and there was and Steven Yeun, I thought, I liked him, but, he didn't really stand out to me, but that's because, there was a lot of really great performances in the film. And like I said before, this is a movie I enjoyed. This is not going to be a movie for everyone, though, because, a lot of people don't like the movies where it's I don't like the talking back and forth. I want action. There is action, but you kind of have to wait to the third act to get to that action. Personally, I enjoyed the film. I think it was very much a commentary on how we treat people. And also, there are aliens in the movie, and there's definitely a part with the aliens where it's these creatures lived there before us. Is it right for us to drive them from their home just because we, as humans, want to be there? And of course, the act of Mark Ruffalo is these are aliens, we gotta go kill them, or they're gonna kill us, and the aliens actually are not really that violent. They'll get violent if you start to get violent with them. So that was something really, really interesting to see, because a lot of times I feel in movies, the aliens are always the bad guys. We gotta stop the aliens, they're gonna kill all the humans. In here, it seemed like you could relate to the aliens. You felt bad for the aliens. In a point, it also was a commentary on, animal cruelty. There was very much a presence of animal cruelty. Because, from my opinion, I'm watching the movie, the little, small, little aliens are cute as hell. They're really, really cute. And then you got Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette, like, literally trying to turn them into a sauce and torturing them. Like, why are you trying to hurt this cute little thing? Like, there was a little bit of that in there, which I kind of appreciated. But really, this is a story about humanity. Where are we going? I think Bong Joon Ho is trying to show us, like, if we continue in the path we're going, we're going to end up like these people, who see something and just friend by it every single time we see it. Or, where the high class are always above the low class. There's some really good commentary on stuff like that in the film. Now, let's talk about the characters in the movie. So, of course, Robert Pattinson as Mickey 17, or just Mickey. I loved him in this movie. I think Robert Pattinson is past the mold now that he is not Twilight Boy anymore. There's this whole thing where it's like, oh, that's the guy who was in Twilight. He is such a great actor, if that's to his performance in The Lighthouse, which I have not seen, but I've heard tremendous things. If that's for him as Batman. Such a great performance, not just as Batman, but Bruce Wayne. Even in Tenet, I enjoyed him in Tenet as well. And in here, I think Robert Pattinson has evolved from the mold of just Twilight Boy. And that's what I think he's been trying to get out of. I think Robert Pattinson doesn't want to be known for Twilight. He's like, I'm a very serious actor. I want to be in movies like Mickey 17. I want to do movies like The Lighthouse. Working with Christopher Nolan in Tenet. And he's also going to be in The Odyssey, another Chris Nolan movie. So this guy is talented. But what really makes the movie, it's not just his performance, it's him playing two different Mickeys. Because, as you've seen the trailer, there are two Mickey 17s. Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. And the thing is, like, they're very vastly different. Mickey 17 is kind of a pathetic loser, when 18 is more like a psychotic guy who just wants to take action. And I love, the conversations they have where, like, Mickey 17 is like, I don't want to go against status quo, I just want to kind of stay in the background. Mickey 18 is like, no, what they're doing to us, what they have been doing to us is not right. It's inhumane, and we got to stand up for ourselves. And I really, really love that. Now, there is comedy. There's a lot. Robert Pattinson's funny in this movie. He is funny. But another thing I'm going to add in here about the movie is that, like I said in my Attitude review, the movie is funny. There are points where it is funny, like I was laughing in the movie. But then it takes this shift to being very serious. Very serious. And that's what I think I really liked, where it could have that comedy, but then gives us back to a really, really emotional scene. It was like, oh God, I feel bad for this character. I think it works really, really well in that regards, where it's like, takes you into laughing, haha, and there's like, oh damn, I feel bad. Now, let's move on to the next character. That is Naomi Ackie in the movie. I thought she was good. I thought her character was a bit weird, but by the end of the movie, like the third act is when I feel like she really, really becomes like a central part of the movie, where I'm like, oh damn, I'm enjoying this. I thought, the way she was trying to convince everyone, like, hey, these aliens, they're not bad. Instead of starting a war, let's try to talk to them. And her like perseverance in trying to save that little baby worm-looking alien, I loved it. And I thought she was really strong. I feel like still, in my opinion, the people who make this movie are Robert Pattinson and Mark Ruffalo. And with all that, let's go into Mark Ruffalo right now. Mark Ruffalo is terrific in this movie. And Mark Ruffalo, he's been in the movie space for a long time. If that's like going 13 going to 30 to Now You See Me, even to his role as the Hulk. This guy is a great actor. I think I love seeing Mark Ruffalo and stuff because I think he always surprises someone whenever he's in a role that's not the Hulk, in my opinion. And he is great. Oh, he is great as a commander. When you first see him and how he talks, you're like, this is very Donald Trumpian, if that's even a word. Like, he's very much a Donald Trump-inspired character. And then by the end, you're like, this guy is despicable. I just want this guy to die. And that's what a great character does. Like, if you can just learn to hate a character while watching something, if that goes to characters like Joffrey in Game of Thrones, like, if you just hate the character, that means the actor's performance is just making you hate it, which makes the performance really, really good. And that's why I think why Mark Ruffalo kind of steals the movie along with Robert Pattinson. He is just a terrible, terrible human being. Like, he is so terrible, so egotistical. It's almost like I just want this character to die. And, he was great in the film. Now, the last one we're going to talk about is Steven Yeun. I thought Steven Yeun's character, who is kind of Mickey's best friend in the movie, this guy is just a sleazy asshole as well. He's like just looking out for himself, always putting Mickey under the bus, which is absolutely terrible. I really love the interaction between Mickey 18 and Steven Yeun's character, because it's so funny, because Mickey 18 is just trying to kill him the entire time, because he's like basically effed up his life this entire movie. And I think that's why I really like it. It's just like Mickey 18 is like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, yo man, what's the problem? You're supposed to be Mickey. You're supposed to be nice to me. But Steven Yeun, I think like he's a bit underwhelmed in the movie, because Robert Pattinson and Mark Ruffalo performances are so strong, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, Steven Yeun was good, but he wasn't like as great, I think, as Robert Pattinson and Mark Ruffalo. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. I really love the movie. I would recommend you go see it in a theater. These are the type of movies we need to go see in the movie theater. We always complain today that Hollywood there's no original ideas in Hollywood. These is just superhero movies and action movies, unless you have one of those movies from Scorsese or Spielberg. I'm like, no. We get movies like this, Mickey 17, and people still complain like we have no originality. This is original. Like, of course, this is based on a book, but it's a book probably no one's read. Like, to be honest, like, if you told me, oh, Mickey 17, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's a new Bong Joon Ho movie. Oh, the guy who did Parasite? Oh, yeah, I'm in to go see that. Like, as a film fan, I was so excited to see this, and it lived up to my expectation that I really loved it. But these are the type of movies we need to be go seeing in theaters. Like, the whole thing today, like, I get, we love superhero movies. I love Captain America, but if I had the choice between watching Captain America again and Mickey 17, I would go say Mickey 17, because I think this is just a great story. It has great characters, that's what we're looking for in a movie. Like, for me personally, when I watch something, I'm not looking for, like, okay, like, is this person in it? Like, oh, is it going to be, like, a super big movie? Or am I seeing it just to see it because it's relevant in social media or society right now? No, I'm going to see a movie that I'm like, I watch that because I want to see it. I want to see a sci-fi movie. Like, I love sci-fi. So whenever a sci-fi movie comes out, I'm always going to go see it. And, of course, you got a director in Bong Joon Ho, who is an Oscar-winning director. And it's just so sad that the box office numbers for this are going to be so low, because I can already tell, like, this movie is not going to make a lot of money. It's not going to make a lot of money. Just like how The Fall Guy and Furiosa were great films. But they didn't make any money. They made like 150 million plus, and that was it. Even to animated films like Transformers 1, which was like one of my favorite animated films from last year. One of my favorite movies from last year. And that only making about 120. Like, those are the type of movies we need to be seeing. Movies that don't just elevate the story, but elevate the characters as well. Characters like this in a movie, which has so many layers to them, that just makes the movie more interesting. For me, this movie just passed on by, and I loved it so much. But guys, what did you think of Mickey 17? Did you have a chance to see it? If not, I would highly recommend go check out this film. I absolutely loved it, but that does not mean you will. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.